In this tutorial, we're going to talk about registering your student attendees. From the main menu page here, just like we did with the adults, if you click on Student Registration, it will take you to a similar menu that you will use to mark and register your students. When you click on Register Students, those that have attended in the past will show up on the list here. And all you have to do is highlight their name and then click Re-Register Student, and it will open up their page to verify their information and then mark the events that they will do. Make sure you verify their contact information and everything is correct there, especially their grade. Make sure that it's correct. The system automatically increments their grade from the previous year, but we always want to double check and make sure that they are marked down for the correct grade so that they'll be assigned to the correct event rooms. For anyone who's not re-registrable, then you click Register New Student. You'll open up a new page that will be blank, and just simply fill that in and make sure you get their contact information in there correctly. The difference between the students and adults on this page, a couple of things are we ask for a birth date for the students rather than for the adults. There is an age range, and then we also want to make sure that the grade in school is correct, as we said, to make sure that they are assigned to the correct events. If a student is a non-attending participant, for example, if they did Centurion of Scripture and Good Samaritan, but they're not able to attend the convention, you register them for those events and uncheck the box that says attending. So if you simply uncheck that, it will charge them a lesser fee, but still have them register for those events and give them the recognition and the awards for those events. There's also some volunteer opportunities to serve as a host-hostess, to help with communion or any other things at the worship service. So mark those as the students desire, and they will be contacted for their assignments at the convention. And then at the bottom of the page is the option to decline the Christian education mailers. We have a great support, great teamwork, great partnership with several of our Christian universities that help sponsor and support our conventions, and as part of that partnership, we provide them with contact information for our student attendees so they can try to communicate with them and recruit them to come to their schools. That's the only people that we ever share this information with, is those Christian colleges that are sponsors and supporters of Latch to Leaders. So if for some reason the family does not want to share that information with those schools, simply check the box that says Decline Christian Education Mailer, and they will not be included on the list that is sent to the schools after convention. For the events, as we want to look through those and touch on a few of the key things with this. For art, they mark whatever categories they're going to do, choose the level for year-round, bulletin board, all the various things. If they're in scrapbook just as an individual and they have not placed first previously, they choose standard. If they are in Winter Circle, they would mark that. For group scrapbook, same thing between standard and Winter Circle. And then if the church has more than one scrapbook that they're submitting and the student works on more than one of those scrapbooks, they need to choose, click this list and choose which one or ones that they are part of. And they can that'll be recognized with that correct scrapbook. For Bartimaeus, for our special needs students and adults, just mark any of these events that this student would be participating in if they are a Bartimaeus participant. For Bible, look through the events that are here for the various Bible categories that are part of Latch to Leaders, and mark those to indicate the events they are participating in. For debate, if you have one team, be sure to mark your student as Team A. If you've got more than one team, then make sure your one team is marked as A and the other team is marked as B. If you have a third team, they're C, and so forth. And mark each student for that correct team so they'll be paired up correctly in the registration. Mark the different events that they participated in here for any of the other year-round events. And then for Bible Bowl, make sure you mark under the team list for their grade division, the age division of the oldest person on the team. For example, if a third grader is participating with a fourth grader and two fifth graders, then each of those students will be marked as 5 through 6. And then if you have more than one team in a grade division, you will mark them as Team A or Team B, so forth. Only make a team something besides A if there are more than two in a specific grade division. That's what the letters need to be used for there. One thing I'll mention here now as well is anytime you see a question mark in the gray box, if you click that, it will give you a description of what needs to be done in that section. So it's a very helpful little tool to use to help guide you through the registration process. And then you also have here for Bible Bowl an opportunity to share some information if you have special requirements for any of your students, such as if there are mobility issues with a student or potential eyesight issues that they need to make sure they sit closer, things like that. You can enter that information in there to make the event coordinator aware of that. Then you can progress along through the different categories and mark the different things that they are participating in. With mass media, make sure they're registered for and have uploaded all of the events that they are participating in. And we'll talk about that in a separate video about how to upload those entries for mass media. For puppets, one thing with that, just like with Bible Bowl, is choose the grade division of the oldest person on the team, which may not necessarily be the grade of the student you're registering. If you're registering a fifth grader and the team that they are on is comprised of team members as old as maybe ninth grade, then you would choose grade 9 there. And then as long as there's one team in grade 9, you choose team A. If you happen to have two teams in a grade, the second team would be B, third team would be C, so forth. For service, we have the different opportunities for Good Samaritan, then keepers and providers, teach to teach, second language. Just mark the different levels of those and have them registered for those events as well. For speech and song leading, just mark the different areas that the students are participating in, choose the levels that they registered for the year-round events as well. And then the last item is if the student wants a convention t-shirt, that can be added to their registration for an additional fee of $12, and all the t-shirts for the group will be picked up at the t-shirt booth at convention. So once everything is marked in there, you have it all registered, you'll hit Save Changes, and it'll save everything. If there's something that's missing, it will give you an error, and you go in and correct that. And if everything's good, it will take you back to that main menu page. So since we didn't add anything here as far as contact information, I'm just going to hit discard to go back, and you'll come back to this main page here. So that concludes the student registration portion, and we will close this one out and get ready to do one for the next section, which will be hotel registration.